Hello, hello. Welcome to our next episode of No Lids, No Limits. It's Kin, calling in from Canada. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different format because we're going to test to see if our AI intern, our smart intern, has actually learned what we've been talking about in the past 22 plus episodes that Arak and I have recorded with various guests. And it's a good showcase of where AI is today in terms of content generation. So without further ado, here's the first half of the episode where AI is going to teach us a little bit about EMS success.
Right, let's jump right in. Today, we're breaking down a really practical, no-nonsense playbook for anyone leading in the electronics manufacturing services world. We're going to talk about how to use AI, not as some sci-fi fantasy, but as a tool you can use right now to make your business more successful and more profitable. Let's get into it. If you're an EMS, you know this slide. You live it every single day. It's that constant pressure, right? Our customers always want higher quality, they want it delivered faster, and they want it for less. It's this nonstop juggling act. This is the core challenge of winning business and keeping it. But what if there's a new way to get ahead of this game? I love this quote from Leong, who's been in manufacturing ops for over 3 decades. He says we need to completely reframe how we think about AI. Forget the whole robots are taking over thing. Instead, picture AI as a very smart intern, an incredibly capable assistant that can help every single person on your team right now do their job even better. So here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into that AI smart intern mindset. Then we'll walk through 5 really crucial steps: getting your process right before you bring in the tech, targeting those easy wins, mastering your data, getting the right tools for your team, and finally, focusing everything on delivering real, measurable value. Okay, so this smart intern idea, when you start thinking about it this way, AI stops being this vague, futuristic threat and it becomes a practical tool. It's something you can hand to your team, from the folks on the factory floor all the way to your sales team, to help them win. And this is the most important part. The goal here isn't to replace people, it's to create a partnership. We're talking about a collaboration where AI does the grunt work. You know, the tedious data crunching and repetitive tasks. That frees up your people, your human intelligence, to do what they do best. Be creative, think strategically, and innovate in ways that actually wow your customer. Which brings us to step 1. And believe me, this is the absolute golden rule for any technology rollout, but it is especially true for AI. And this just says it all, doesn't it? If you slap AI onto a broken process, you don't fix the process. You just start making mistakes faster and at a much bigger scale. You know, an inventory mess isn't an AI problem, it's a process problem. You have to fix the foundation first, then, and only then, can AI come in and supercharge that good process to give you incredible value. So your processes are solid. Now what? Where do you even begin? Well, step 2 is about being smart and going for the low-hanging fruit first. You want the biggest impact for the least amount of effort, right away. And the best way to do that is with something you've probably heard of, Pareto's Law, the 80-20 rule. The whole idea is simple. Find the 20% of tasks where you can apply a little effort to get 80% of your results. It's about finding those quick wins that build momentum and get everyone excited. So what does that actually look like in an EMS company? Well, think about all those tasks that are simple but just eat up time. Drafting a really persuasive sales email that could take someone half a day. Or digging through spreadsheets trying to figure out why shipments are late. These are perfect jobs for your new AI intern. They give you instant value and free up your best people to solve the really tough problems. Okay, on to the fuel that makes this entire AI engine run. Step 3 is all about your data. Because let's face it, without good fuel, that shiny new engine is going nowhere. You've heard this a million times, I know, but for AI, it is the absolute #1 truth. The answers you get from your AI are only ever as good as the information you give it. If your data's a mess, if it's wrong or incomplete, your results are going to be useless. Or even worse, they could lead you in the completely wrong direction. So this means making sure everything is clean and accurate, from the bombs your customers send you to the lead times you get from vendors. But here's what's really exciting. AI can actually help you unlock a treasure trove of data that's probably just sitting there, trapped in your old systems like your ERP or your machines on the floor. It can turn all that hidden info into insights you can actually use to make more money. Okay, so we've got a good process and clean data. It's time for step 4, putting the right tools into your team's hands. And it's so important to know that not all AI tools are created equal. On one side, you have public tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. They're amazing for general stuff, for pulling ideas from the whole internet. But, and this is a huge but, you cannot upload your customers' confidential data to these things. As Leong says, that's a scary thing. It's a massive NDA breach waiting to happen. On the other side, you have secure tools like Notebook LM, which only works with the private files you give it. Your data stays your data. This is how you build what's essentially a secure company brain. You just upload your own stuff, your quality manuals, your production data, all your reports. Then anybody on your team, not just a data expert, can ask it questions in plain English, like, hey, which machine had the most downtime last quarter? And they get an answer in seconds. It puts the power of data into everyone's hands so they can make smarter, faster decisions. And that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important step. You've got the mindset, the process, the data, the tools. Step 5 is about pointing all of that power at the one thing that truly matters, driving real business value. Let's be crystal clear about this. AI is not a science project. It's not about playing with cool new tech. Its success has to be measured in dollars and cents. Every single thing you do with AI has to tie back to the bottom line. Does it help you win a new contract? Does it make your current customers so happy they'll never leave? If the answer is no, you have to ask why you're doing it. And here's the payoff. When you put this playbook into action, you circle right back to that triple threat we started with. You get better because your quality decisions are driven by data, not guesswork. You get faster because you can analyze things in minutes, not days. And you get cheaper because AI is brilliant at finding and eliminating waste you didn't even know you had. This is how you win the game. So I want to leave you with this idea. The size of this change is just massive. We're not talking about another software update here. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we all do business, something as big as when the internet first showed up. The opportunity in front of us is enormous, but the risk of just sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing? That's even bigger. The companies that don't start exploring these tools are, without a doubt, going to get left behind. So the only real question left is, after seeing this playbook, where are you going to start?
Wow. So that last video clip was entirely generated by Google, Notebook LM, and Gemini. And that was actually done back about December of 2025, where the AI technology decided at that point. AI in the last 5 or 6 months have really advanced a whole lot with exponential rate development in terms of where some of the frontier models have taken us. And so I thought I would give it a try to generate another AI content.
Right now, the global push to build artificial intelligence data centers is creating a massive void in the hardware market. As new server farms are spun up worldwide, memory chips are being vacuumed up at an astonishing rate, leaving everyone else scrambling for supply. Combine that specific shortage with rising geopolitical friction. Major shipping lanes are increasingly volatile, and the international pathways that factories rely on to move physical goods are fracturing. In electronics manufacturing, this leads directly to the golden screw problem. You could have a circuit board 99% finished, but if a single 50-cent component is missing from your inventory, millions of dollars in production simply grinds to a halt. Desperation for those missing parts opens the door to counterfeiters. We've moved past clumsy, obvious fakes. Today's bad actors use professional laser remarking and microscopic dye cloning to mimic authentic hardware. Relying on human sight to catch these is a trap. To the naked eye, a recycled chip looks flawless. Industry veterans Ken Leong and Arik Radatai have spent decades navigating this exact chaos. Through their podcast, No Lids, No Limits, they've identified a persistent trap. Companies try to solve these massive supply and quality issues by throwing expensive new software at the problem, but software alone will not save a broken factory. Surviving this volatile landscape requires fixing the actual physical human processes first, long before any digital tools are plugged into the operation. There is a golden rule in manufacturing systems. If you purchase the most expensive enterprise resource planning software in the world and implement it poorly, your business will fail. Buying an ERP without streamlining your workflows first doesn't fix your operation, it just speeds up your existing problems. The necessary first step is applying Lean Six Sigma principles to eliminate what engineers call downtime waste. This acronym maps out the 8 specific inefficiencies that kill a factory's momentum. 2 of the most destructive are overproduction and waiting. Making items before they are strictly needed or having products set idle between steps directly drains your working capital and halts the flow of the factory floor. Then there is non-utilized talent. Keeping experienced, capable workers locked into repetitive, isolated tasks prevents them from applying their deep knowledge to solve complex problems. Taking the time to strip out these inefficiencies is mandatory. A streamlined, waste-free physical process is the non-negotiable foundation you have to build before a single piece of tracking software is installed. Once that foundation is solid, modern tools like AI become effective aids. There is a lot of fear about artificial intelligence acting as a job killer, but these algorithms lack the agile, creative thinking that human engineers use to get things done. AI acts as a centralized operational brain. Most companies store engineering, quality, and supply chain data in separate silos. AI pulls those isolated streams together, democratizing information so everyone has real-time access. When fed this massive data stream, AI excels at finding patterns. By analyzing millions of signals from IoT sensors on the assembly line, it can instantly spot microscopic anomalies, indicating a machine is falling out of calibration, something a human operator would almost certainly miss.
This processing speed also allows for dynamic scheduling. Traditional ERP workflows are rigid. The second you generate a production schedule, a single real-world variable changes, making the plan useless. AI algorithms monitor these changes in real time. If a key worker calls in sick or a rush order suddenly drops, the system calculates the downstream impacts and instantly pivots production to match reality. Deploying AI as a smart intern for high-volume data analysis removes the burden of administrative work. This frees your human talent to focus entirely on creative problem-solving. That combination of human expertise and machine processing is our absolute best defense against increasingly fragile global supply chains. As we established earlier, relying on visual inspection to catch highly sophisticated counterfeit components is a guaranteed failure. To block these threats, manufacturers are now deploying advanced AI agents specifically designed to navigate multi-tiered supply chains. These systems track environmental compliance rules and map out geopolitical risks across thousands of suppliers. You can feed an entire bill of materials into one of these agents, and within minutes it cross-references global databases, flags hidden vulnerabilities, finds component end-of-life warnings, and spots potential counterfeits well before the procurement team even places an order. Identifying a risk is a purely academic exercise without a sourcing strategy. When a rare part is needed, the electronics manufacturing services provider, the EMS, must take the lead. They possess the deep, vetted networks and industry expertise required to source legitimate parts, rather than pushing that burden back onto the original equipment manufacturer. True supply chain resilience requires AI's rapid data checking capabilities with the localized, experienced human relationships built by the EMS. Of course, even with perfect AI and the most expensive systems running the floor, the relationship between an OEM and an EMS will completely fail without strict transparency. Hiding costs or obscuring production delays destroys trust immediately. The most successful EMS providers operate as transparent problem solvers. They integrate with their clients' teams, providing a clear window into how they navigate supply shortages and quality hurdles in real time. Securing those partnerships requires talent, bringing us to a looming demographic threat. A massive wave of highly experienced industry veterans is retiring, creating a critical need to attract young, agile thinkers to the manufacturing sector. To bridge this gap, facilities are adopting people-to-people marketing. This strategy shifts the focus away from generic corporate messaging, choosing instead to highlight the specific human teams building these complex products. The precision of robotic joints and high-speed automation defines the tech appeal of the modern factory. However, these advanced machines only function effectively because of the dynamic, highly social human interactions coordinating the entire production flow. Surviving the modern hardware squeeze demands a complete operational shift. It requires taking the lid off siloed data, deploying AI to handle the heavy analytical lifting, and trusting human teams to creatively break the rules. No lids, no limits.
I just love how the AI actually went through 20 plus episodes of no lids, no limits information and stitched together the entire story, all pretty much on its own. I am actually quite amazed with the result of that second half segment that we just watched. I hope you enjoyed that. I know this sounds like a little different episode than what we've been doing here on our podcast, but I think this is a good turning point of showcasing where AI is currently in mid 2026. And I'm actually quite excited about where we're heading. So, with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much for staying with us through this fun AI generated episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Drop us a comment or any feedback you may have. Have you used AI generated content and how do you feel about it? Let us know. Until the next episode, I hope we'll bring a real human, Arik, back and to join us. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.